From time to time, you got to correct people about stuff, and Coach K is no different. Kirby Smart correcting the Duke head coach about Stetson Bennett of all people, and this is the conversation between the two. Mike Krzyzewski says he was a walk on. Like, come on, man, is that Rudy or what the heck? How the hell did that happen? And Kirby's response back was, well, he's a little bit better than Rudy. I'll say that. He was recruited. He was a recruited walk on. No offense to Rudy. I've watched that movie several times. I watched that movie once, and it was one too many times for me. It was ugh, not a great movie. Not a great. I mean, I guess it's a great story, but Stetson Bennett's story is better. Let's be honest. Um, Rudy is a cute story about some guy walking on. It's not the same. And Stetson Bennett, who I try not to talk about Stetson a lot because I think it kind of gets over discussed. There's so many haters out there. It's insane. But Stetson is undervalued still. I think it's he's always going to be, and that's fine. And it gets annoying when Stetson does that whole routine. Yeah, everybody annoys me sometimes, but um, you can't compare Stetson Bennett to Rudy at Notre Dame. I mean, first of all, um, you know, I don't know when Rudy was at Notre Dame, so there's a pretty good chance that he played for or won a national championship, but he wasn't the quarterback. And the thing about Stetson, we've talked about this a lot, and Kirby backs it up in a lot of his discussion about Stetson over time. But there was no quit to him. He had choices. Obviously went away to a junior college, Jones Community College out in Mississippi, and I can tell you with direct knowledge that there was a lot of they were not going to come back to Georgia. I mean, that was not the plan at all. And if you recall, when he got to Georgia, he came in the same exact class as Jake Fromm. The assumption was that Jacob Eason would be the quarterback for a few years. And then obviously you signed Justin Fields, and that was supposed to be the fight. It would be between Jacob, and then Jake Fromm and Justin Fields would fight it out. In 2017, uh, when Georgia was preparing for its first national championship game under Kirby Smart, Stetson Bennett was getting all sorts of praise from Lorenzo Carter, Davin Bellamy, just guys on the defensive side of the ball. Mel Tucker were all talking about how difficult he was, and he was playing Baker Mayfield at the time. And it was a lot of good talk, but Stetson's improvement from not just 2017 to now, but 2020 to 2021. That's why Georgia won the national championship, was because Stetson Bennett got better over time. He got better as a player. He got better as a quarterback uh, with decision making. He got better. His performance against Auburn. This is from DAWGSTRUCTION. Make sure you're ordering this book or at least checking it out below. Stetson's performance against Auburn was exceptional. His performance against Arkansas really was impressive. He had two games where he did not play well. The Florida game, and then, of course, the first game against Alabama. And honestly, the first game against Alabama, he didn't play horrible. This is from the second game against Alabama where he hit A.D. Mitchell. Check that picture out, man. A really nice picture, if I do say so myself. I nearly missed that shot because of trying to grab the camera to pull it up to my neck so quick. Make sure you're buying DAWGSTRUCTION. DAWGSTRUCTION is right down below, or at least check it out. Rudy is a great story. It's a Hollywood ending, and I'm assuming, I'm just sitting here today. I don't know, but my assumption is at some stage there will be some sort of theatric, portrayal of Stetson's time at Georgia. But that was a tough fight the entire time. The decision to leave, the decision to come back. Georgia recruited him the second time. They signed him on signing day. I mean, he had other options. And, coming back to be the backup in 19 and then to be told in 20 that, you're probably never going to play here. I mean, just straight up, that's what they told him. And to 18 months after that, hoisting the national championship trophy and really being one of the main reasons why Georgia won the national championship for the first time in 4 decades, that's hard to believe. It is. And um, it's hard to compare that to even a Hollywood ending. And I understand. I mean, Krzyzewski's right. What the hell? How the hell did this happen? And Kirby goes on to say, "I'm proud of what he's been through for a young man that was a third teamer coming out of the spring, going as a three coming into the camp. Remember, he came out of camp at Georgia behind Carson Beck. That was a big deal. It says, what does that say about his character that he stuck around and he kept working to get better? That's what you're supposed to do in life: overcome hurdles and obstacles, and he's done that, and he has. And you know, I look forward to ignoring the comments, but the truth of the matter is that we can all learn from Stetson's experience. And this is just this moment in time. I don't know what Stetson's future is going to be. He may not be the starting quarterback at Georgia in this fall. He may be the president of the United States in 30 years, 25 years. But his journey at Georgia from 17 to 21, there's no one else has had that journey. It's just not existed. It's hard to, with the exception of Baker Mayfield, I'm not aware of any quarterback that's been a walk on and gone on to be as good as Stetson's been. Now, Stetson's an outlier. Stetson is not normal in any sense of the word. You don't want that to be your story all the time, okay? And what you want is to recruit high level players and develop them the way that you've developed Stetson Bennett. That makes for even more national championships. So I'm not naive. There's not going to be many more Stetsons, if any. But the truth is that uh, there's so much to learn from his time at Georgia and from his grit and determination to win for something that was bigger than him, that we all can learn from that. And that's Stetson's story. Keely Ringo has his own story too, which is not insignificant either. Okay, a mother battling cancer while you're trying to find your way in college football, and you make one of, if not the most iconic plays in a program's history. That stuff doesn't happen in a vacuum. There's scores of practices and hundreds of reps that lead to those moments. There's mental anguish along the way. I mean, people have always misunderstood, I think, Stetson's view of himself. They think uh, they think he thinks of himself as a gunslinger. He thinks he's Superman. I don't know how many people I've told that to privately. He thinks he can do anything. Now, Matthew Stafford was the same way. And that can be dangerous sometimes. But um, if this past postseason in college football and the NFL is any indication, it also can lead to championships. So um, the the story of Stetson involves, and I've written about this extensively. Um, the, the the story of Stetson through the years is a lot of grinding it out. His grandfather was a coach at Arkansas, defensive coordinator that was one of the best in the country. But he has football in his blood, and he was driven enough to make something happen that had not happened in 40 years. Did the defense win the national championship for Georgia? Yeah, they did. There's no question about that. Did Stetson win it? 2? Yeah, he did. Everybody won it. It was the whole team. You can't write books like this without having multiple people in it. If Stetson wasn't out there playing corner, but that's not Nolan Smith. That's James Cook scoring a touchdown against Tennessee. There's plenty of Nolan Smith in here too. Let's give credit where credit's due, and and Stetson should know too that the starting quarterback at Georgia has not survived the last couple of seasons. So, you can lose your job too, even though you won the national championship. Um, and we're just going to see how this goes. But if he works the way he has and he plays the way he did in 2021, Georgia's going to be back in the playoff. Stetson's going to be the starting quarterback, and Georgia will have his chance to win the national championship again. Going to be tough to do, but totally possible. Hey, thanks for watching. Check out the link down below for DAWGSTRUCTION. We'll see you over on the website.